Okay, so you have done all the things. You planted enriched compost, you fertilized, you've watered correctly. Now you're still having some issues with your plants. Well, sometimes, like, we don't always like our neighbors. Sometimes your plants don't like the neighbor that you put it next to. And that is called companion planting. So we're going to talk about that today. But first, let's get into the elephant in the room. What happened to my hydrangeas? Baby, it's a whole issue. Yesterday, it rained not once, but twice. So it rained. We had a nice moderate rain. I was so happy because I didn't have to water. Again, I was thankful. Then, like a typhoon came through here. Literally. Look at this. To be like MacGyver and put and use the ladder to prop some of them up. But you can see here, this is the support right here. So we're going to put a taller T-pole today and use some thicker support ropes. This first plant that's really down, and then the last plant is only the back part of that one. They're just way too heavy with water. Look at all that water. All right, so let's get into the companion planting. First, I'm going to show you something that I did wrong myself. Okay, so you guys see this 20-foot cylinder block bed here. I normally plant cucumbers over here in the summer, but during the winter, I like to have some interest over here. Last fall, I decided to plant some thyme, a whole lot of rosemary. The problem is that rosemary does not require a lot of water, where cucumbers are 96% water, and they do require a lot of water. Planted the rosemary back in the fall over here so that during the winter I would still have something growing in the soil, forgetting that I grow cucumbers here in the summer. Now, the cucumbers are doing okay and they're still heavily producing, but the rosemary's not doing so good. And some of my thyme has started to die off. Now, because it's been raining a lot, you'll notice that my rosemary is really not as dark green as it really should be. You can see for pest control, I have also companion planted onions next to the cucumbers. I've also planted some chives here near the cucumbers. And the chives can take water, so they're okay to plant next to the cucumbers. So these two trellises, I am succession planting some new cucumbers. I have just sown seeds right here. So that's what succession planting is, if you ever wonder what that means. You've had mature plants, and while those are producing, you start some new seedlings, and then they will continue to produce. So once those mature plants that you first planted are done, because they will give out. Plants that produce a whole lot, they will eventually stop producing. Now, when it comes to herbs, they're not all made the same. In this little planter here, I have some thyme, I have oregano, rosemary back here, and lavender. Now, the problem with this container is all of them don't like a lot of water. That's why I'm using this bottle. Let me show you inside. So I'm using a little oil right here, and then you put water in the bottle, and then you just put it down in here, and it will feed the soil water as it needs it. Problem is that these particular herbs do not require a lot of water. Rosemary, the lavender, the oregano, and thyme, they can all take a sandy soil. So they can all take a sandy soil, and they don't require a lot of water. But it's been raining like every other day. It has been raining here, so my herbs have been suffering as well. But on a normal basis, you want to plant herbs together that have the same watering pattern. or habits. Now, this rosemary is doing great. Looks like my tomatoes survived the storm, but they need some support. Look at that. I'm going to show you these lovely tomatoes. Now, tomatoes, you can companion plant with basil. They not only give it lots of flavor, I'm taking the flowers off because when your basil goes to flower, it tells the plant that it's done producing and it can go ahead and stop for the season. We don't want that, so we take the flowers off. The bees and the pollinators love the flowers, and you can leave some for them, but if you're not ready for your plant to stop producing, then take the flowers off. Now, basil is perfect to plant next to your tomatoes. It gives it flavor, it wards off pests, and they have a very similar watering pattern. So what you put next to your plant can either protect it, it can help the soil, or it can actually stunt its growth. So you have to be mindful of what you're putting next to your plant. You could have done all the things right, but it might be the neighbor that's next door that is keeping it from thriving. So with my tomato plants, of course, I have some basil. So I have sweet basil and I also have some Thai basil. Now the Thai basil, I will let it flower a little bit because with the Thai basil, the pollinators absolutely love it. Look at those flowers. They bring the pollinators to the garden. Now, another thing are marigolds and chives. So, the basil actually helps to give a little flavor to your tomatoes and it protects it. Also, the marigolds really help your soil. They do something to the soil that help the microbiome and just the health of the soil itself, which in turn helps your plants to thrive. And then the chives also help to ward off pests that you don't want on your tomatoes, like the dreaded hornworm. So guys, yeah, you have to keep an eye on your basil, especially if it rains a lot like it does here in Georgia. So your basil will, and it's hot and it's humid and it's raining, your basil will start to flower. And when you see those flowers, you have to determine, okay, do I want my plant to stop growing and producing and go to seed? And now if it does, you want it to go to seed, like I said, the pollinators are going to love it. They're going to love the flowers. And then what you can do with those flowers is let them dry out and then just kind of crumple them over like a paper towel or a towel and collect the seeds, and then you don't have to buy seeds next year. Now, some plants come with their own little flowers, right? Like squash, cucumbers, melons. See that? That's the female. You see how she looks? Now, this guy, that's a male. Now, on our squash plants, we need the male to fertilize the female, so we need pollinators. So the other reason that we want to companion plant, we want to plant some flowers in our garden that will attract the pollinators. Yeah, they're attracted to the flowers that are already on the squash, but why not plant some others that they like too? I love Mexican heather. Mexican heather really brings out the bees. And you can see this one is busy. Now, I mentioned marigolds help with soil health and they also ward off pests. But if you need nitrogen, nitrogen is one of those things that your plants need to thrive. Along with like magnesium, calcium, iron. But if you are lacking nitrogen in your soil, let me show you what you can plant. These are beans, and beans will bring nitrogen. Now I have the beans planted next to my jalapeno peppers. And so one of the things with beans is you really have to be careful of what you plant it next to. Beans don't work well with all veg. So it seemed to be doing really good with the jalapenos, are really popping, really producing. You can see that I love to companion plant with a lot of onions and chive. So this brings me to some things that you want to avoid planting next to each other. Those neighbors that don't get along with one another. Now I love planting garlic, chives, and onions, and I plant a lot of them, but you cannot plant those next to beans and peas. You'll start to wonder, why are my beans and peas not thriving? It's the neighbor. Don't put chives, onions, and garlic next to your beans and peas. No, ma'am, don't do that. Now, your squash, they don't like potatoes. Start seeing you have a lot of males and you have no females and you're not getting squash. Don't plant them next to potatoes. That's a no-no. Now, your squash love onions and garlic, chive. Now, onions, chives, and garlic are great companions for your brassica, like cabbage and kale, even spinach, arugula, any of your lettuce and leafy type vegetables. Plant garlic and chive all day and onions next to them. They will help give it flavor as well as ward off unwanted pests. You have to keep in mind that some herbs are wonderful, they're beautiful, but they can be bullies and very invasive. So you have to keep that in mind. Like this beautiful lemon balm. He's gorgeous, but look how much space he's taking up. Part of that is my fault, being lazy, because I haven't given him a trim yet. So I think you guys got the idea. Your plants have neighbors, or we give them neighbors, but we have to research what neighbors to give them so that they are able to thrive, right? So to help you along, I have created a little chart, and I'm going to put in the description box a link for you to click on. It's free and it's just a little kind of guide. And because there's so many plants, I can't put everything on there of what you should and should not plant next to each other. So it's real simple. You can Google it. You can use your AI tools and ask them before you plant. Do this before you plant. Can I plant these two things next to each other? Always keep that in mind. Are they going to be good neighbors? All right, y'all. Hope that this was helpful, and I will see y'all in the next video.